welcome to a special episode of Dad Bods and Touchdowns. I'm Chad, joined here with Justin. We're doing a post-game show on the San Francisco 49ers and Buffalo Bills game that is still a little bit in progress, but I think Justin's had enough. I'm going to let him talk real quick on this game so I don't have to. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh my God. Well, first off, happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving to everyone since I missed last week's episode. Uh, but I was driving home, watching the game up at my uncle's house. Started off decent, got 3 and out. I was super excited. I was like, okay, run game was looking good. Then they got stopped. Okay, no big deal. Holding to a field goal, whatever. Buffalo scored. Wasn't that big of a deal to me. And then when CMC went down, I was like, gosh dang it. Super irritated, obviously, because he just came back.
Right,
And I think, Chad, you said in our group chat that he was made of glass.
Yeah.
I agree. He's such a good player, man, but
He is. Yeah.
and they're not using Deebo Samuel at all, which is crazy to me.
It seems like the few times that they try to use him, he was just stuffed at the front of the line just because there was no really.
Is he trying to play through injury maybe because they're so hurt, or is he just old now and slow?
Well, I think obviously footing's probably really bad right now for the field. Just my take. The other take is there's really no deep threat right now for the 49ers, and that also allows that safety. And I think actually Chris Collinsworth mentioned it during the game. He said that allows your safeties to sit up close, and play the run better than what they normally would. So
yeah, but from what I've seen from the game, I'm looking at stats right now, Purdy's not having a good night. He's gotten sacked twice, had that fumble, which, I mean, it's hard. They're not used to playing in the snow, but that's not an excuse. You're still a professional football player. He's 11 for right now. He's 11 through 17, 11 for 17 with 94 yards. That's unacceptable when you want to be paid as a top 5 quarterback. I don't care what weather you're in, you have to perform.
Yeah.
Jordan Mason's doing okay. 13 carries, 78 yards.
Yeah.
6 yards averaging 6 yards a carry. That's not bad. That's about what he's been doing all year when he's been getting the bulk of the work.
Right.
As we said, CMC went down, which I feel like Shanahan, when someone major gets injured in the game, he can't adjust his game plan to fix that game plan. In the middle of the game, he's unproven to do it. I was texting on my cousin Mike. And he was saying that Shanahan's the same way. He said, yeah, seems Shanahan not even getting a team. Yeah. I'm irritated. Don't really have a lot of words.
I mean, honestly, there's been a lot of turnovers too. I mean, they're turning the ball over. I mean, we talked about what just happened before we started recording this. With Deebo even turning the ball over on a kick return.
Yeah, or Juszczyk fumbling when they were driving, he fumbled. Oh my, that's what. And then after that touchdown,
but I don't think that was on Juszczyk as much as it was on Purdy because that ball was never. Yeah, it was never clean handing it off to him. So that's a tough one to hold on to him. I can tell you this from what I've seen tonight. They got to play Chicago, who next week, who's going to be pretty rejuvenated. Especially some of the stuff that I've heard coming out of Bears locker room on Thursday, and then again on Friday when Eberflus came in to talk to the team and let them know he's fired. So San Fran's got to go, and who knows what's going on with CMC? But you go in, you're playing at home. Chicago's coming in there. How are you feeling about that? I mean, and that's not talking as a Bears fan.
I am worried, dude. I am scared. I think the Bears will end up winning that game, but it depends on what happens with the Bears, too. I always struggle with this game, but I'm going to root for the Niners. But that's a game that I feel like is going to be an ugly battle for the Niners because they are such injured, and they look against the Packers. Didn't look like they cared tonight. Right. I know it's shitty weather, but you still look like you got to care. As soon as CMC went down, they look like their life got sucked out of them. Jordan Mason's doing well, and Jawan Jennings is doing well tonight, 56 receiving yards and 18.7 average per catch, so 3 receptions for 56 yards. That's not terrible, but man, like I'm looking at these stat lines, Chad. Like Debo has 4 receptions for 20 yards.
Yeah.
That's George
Juwan
Kittle has
Jennings had a semi-decent game, right?
he's having an okay game, yeah.
Yeah.
50. George Kittle has enough. He has 1 reception for 7 yards. Like the
It,
snow's killing the Niners, and Shanahan obviously couldn't game plan without CMC being there because they have nothing since he's left.
now, do you think that Kittle? You brought that up. You think it's time to move on from him after this year? Just out
No,
of
not.
curiosity.
I don't think Kittle, because I think Kittle will realize that he's getting older and they have to pay Purdy and some other players. So Kittle's already taken a pay cut once. I guarantee you they'll figure it out to keep him on the team. But I think after watching the game today and last week that Debo's slowing down. So I think he's done. I think he won't be on the team next year because teams are focusing in on him. He's not doing the same this year at all. Like he's been a shell of himself, and really this week he was a complete
But
shell of himself.
I mean, and we discussed this in previous podcasts. It hurts that team if Brandon Ayuk's out of that play, out of that offense. It does. His speed, his route running, his hands. He just his overall ability as a wide receiver is a costly
Oh, for
loss
sure. I'm
to
just like even
San
in
Fran.
tonight's game, like there's no one to get down the field and make the safeties push out besides Jawan Jennings, and he can only do that so much when then you're just
Right,
double teaming him or pushing him in within 5 yards, and he can't get deep before Purdy to throw the ball.
right. No, I
Ayuk.
agree. I
So
agree.
obviously I was wrong when I said they should have traded Ayuk because
You're like, well, you
obviously
have to have him.
we see
So
how much it's affecting him. Debo is not the same player.
yeah,
Jawan Jennings is still doing what he normally does, but the team's just off this year, and
right. No, I
it's
agree.
showing. It even last week when I wanted to do this, I couldn't. But even this week, it's the same thing. It looks like underprepared football team. The defense is on their heels the whole game. Like even Warner said last week in a press conference that they played like crap. Like they are not the same defense as they were.
Right.
And Warner's had a great year, but the rest of the defense has been shaky. The secondary's young. So that's why
Yeah.
I don't know what they're
That.
going to do.
Yeah, and I think like we said right before we started this, also, me being a Bears fan and you being a Niners fan, our defenses are probably almost identical. There's nothing up front for a pass rush right now because you guys got Bosa out, and even Warner struggled today. I mean,
Oh yeah, he
I,
can't have any footing. Like
no,
that play
no.
where he would
Josh
I don't think.
Allen left him standing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No,
yeah.
that's
Like
but
that's a embarrassing play. But when
you're asking Warner to cover too much. I mean
you
that.
can't
I mean,
he can't. Yeah, the sideline linebacker is what he is, but he can't play sideline to sideline and cover a receiver
no,
downfield.
nope,
I
and he
mean, there's
can't do that
multiple
and rush the passer. And I
there's
mean,
multiple times this year where you've seen him run from behind, hit balls out to get a fumble. The Warner's went above and beyond this year for the Niners defense, in my opinion. He's had a good year.
no, he's a great linebacker without a
Yeah,
doubt.
but
Might be
today,
might
like,
be one of the best in the league. But
dude, that play that Josh Allen threw him down, oh my God. I was like,
he was kind of just standing still. I think he
yeah,
knew he was at a loss because his footing wasn't going to allow him to
yeah,
do
no,
anything.
it was,
Now let me ask you this. Right now it's 35-10. There's 7 minutes left in this game. You've spit out the stats. What do you think's going to happen with Shanahan? You think they keep him? I'll be honest with you. I think he's a great head coach. I think that the Niners would be not very bright to get rid of him. I hope John Lynch is smarter than that. I think he is.
I think he is too. I
Um,
think they need to keep Shanahan, but I think they need to do a rebuild with the same coaching regime. I think they need a new defensive coordinator because the guy that they hired is not,
yeah.
or the dude they hired internally is not it.
Do
The
you,
defense was top five last year and regressed, which is not a good sign. But
do you think they
get
go
rid of
after Salah, even though he's with Green Bay right now?
he's not he's not Green Bay's D coordinator, right?
No, he's just a consultant, but he's
He's a
there.
consult.
But
I
he's
think
there.
he is, but I
Yeah,
don't think they're going to fire their defensive coordinator when they had a good defense before They
Their
even brought in
defense
Robert
is
Sala.
their defense has struggled a little bit this year. They can't
But
play the run. I mean, their secondary, to be honest with you,
Xavier
is
McKinney's a dude,
suspect.
though.
Yeah, but it's
Xavier,
suspect. I mean, the Bears actually exposed them a little bit
yeah, no,
on that, on as far as in their defensive backfield. I felt so.
I think the Niners keep Shanahan. I think they'll give him one more year, but I think they're going to make some major roster adjustments because
Yeah,
you can't have an injury-prone roster. So either one of CMC or Debo has to go. One of those two.
If I'm Shanahan, I'm getting a hold of Salah and saying, I give
Come
you a big
back.
hug and welcome you back, because I think that's night and day difference for San Francisco
Oh yeah, because
automatically.
Solid could literally just they run the same system since
Yeah.
he's left, so he'd literally just come in and they would pick back up. And I think they
with his leadership they'd be better.
Yeah. People that they could get rid of after this year, I feel like to help out, just if they do decide to keep Shanahan and bring a good D coordinator in, get rid of Jerron Hargrave, who they signed. Next year would be the last year on his deal, so trade him for whatever you can get for him. Just trade him, even if it's a 5th round pick. Trade him. And one of CMC or Debo has to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see CMC go. I think he's there. I think he'll finish his career as a 49er. I don't think you see him play again this year. I don't. This loss, I mean, you've got an outside chance of still winning that division. I get it. I understand that. But at what cost?
There's no reason to, because his Achilles aren't torn, and say he keeps playing and tears one, then he's out half next season too.
Right.
So
exactly.
Let Jordan Mason get the reps.
Yep.
Give him because he's been doing solid.
Right. No, he's a good back. Mason's a good back.
Yeah. Say CMC does have to retire, right? Because it's Achilles tendonitis, and he's not the same, and he retires. Jordan Mason, I think, can take the starting role for a year, or at least they can bring in someone else, and they can have a complementary split between Mason and whoever they bring in.
I think Mason's a starting quarterback for any NFL team. I think he can start anywhere. I really do. He's come in. I mean, he doesn't catch out of the backfield like CMC does. That's one thing I'll say. But
they don't give him the opportunities either, though.
But as far as being a raw runner, as far as handing him the ball, he's good. He's good. He's a good back. He's got some power to him, and he's definitely got good speed. So,
yeah, this game. But dude, this game, they're driving down the field again. They're marching on the defense. It's embarrassing, the defense. But I know there's not much they can do. Jair Brown is safety tonight. 7 tackles, 4 solo tackles. Fred Warner only has 3 tackles. They don't have the defense doesn't have footing. They're getting embarrassed, which I expected them to lose. Not this bad after Purdy came back. But obviously, I agree with some other Niners fans, Mike included, that Shanahan has been very underprepared the past 2 weeks, and he needs to change something for his job's sake too. Because I feel like Gruden is going to contemplate firing him because they've been to the Super Bowl twice, they haven't done it, and they've been to the NFC Championship 4 times, and they've lost 2. So Shanahan is. It's, to me, starting to get to that Andy Reid point in Philly where it's yes, we know you're a very good coach, but you haven't won us the big one.
If that's the case, let his ass come to Chicago then, because I want that Randy Reid or the Andy Reid effect in Chicago.
Hey,
I'll take it.
Don't get Eric in here because he's going to be like, no, we don't need Shanahan. Thomas Brown would be it. Oh,
I don't want Eric. I like Thomas Brown. And you know what? I will say this. I don't know if you listened to what Sean McVay had to say about Thomas Brown, but the guy's worked with him before, and he knows about him. And he said that literally he's that guy when he walks in the room, he demands that, he doesn't have to say it, but the way he looks, demands
respect.
Yeah. Respect. He carries himself with a certain aura, and he's got high football intelligence.
Keep him on the staff for sure. I think the Bears keep him on the staff. And especially if my Niners want to fire Shanahan, Bears should bring Shanahan.
Oh God, yeah. That's a no-brainer.
Shanahan would call the plays, but let Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown would either be the quarterback's coach or OC with Shanahan. And oh my God, Williams' improvement.
Oh yeah, his
But
improvement since he's taken over that offense has been
where
complete.
would that leave the 49ers, though, if Shanahan goes? I think, one, it depends on who. Because say they fire Shanahan, right? And John Lynch goes, Ben Johnson, do you want
Yeah.
to come be the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers? They have a good roster, clean up the cap. Ben Johnson might leave Detroit to go to San Fran. They have a good, legit roster.
The only thing I would say is any head coach, I guess somebody like Ben Johnson wants to win that Super Bowl, and I think he will this year with Detroit. Does he want to go to a team that, like you said, I mean, truly needs to start a rebuild? Now, San Francisco, they've had some years where the rebuild has not gone very well for them. They don't usually stay in a rut for a very long time, but I mean, they've had some years where it takes them, 4 years to get back to where they're going. I think in the '90s that was relevant to say.
I mean, hell, the Bears have been in a rebuild for 10
No,
years.
oh no.
Besides, what was
But
it, the year that Matt Nagy won Coach of the Year?
Right. I'm just saying that when a team goes in a
sure.
rebuild, no matter how good the organization is, it takes at least 4 years, 3 to 4 years for that to really take place.
I mean, we're seeing that it took Detroit with Dan Campbell. This is Dan Campbell's fourth year.
Yeah.
First year was terrible. Second year,
God.
they went 7-9. Last year, they made the playoffs.
Yep.
And now look at them.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So say Ben Johnson does come in. He has an okay quarterback. Goff's not the best quarterback, but he's okay.
Right.
Above average. Purdy's above average. But I think Purdy, Goff, Kirk Cousins, Dak are all in that same category, like fringe top 10. That you bring in Ben Johnson, very good play caller, can work with Purdy or get his own QB. You have CMC. You have an alpha wide receiver one in Ayuk.
Now, let me ask you this, because we're talking about that.
Ben Johnson to the Niners would be very intriguing.
But if you're Ben Johnson and you have the option of Chicago, the 49ers, there'll be a couple more on there. You know that. Where would you go? Honestly, where would you go?
One. That's a tough one because they both Caleb's on a rookie contract. Purdy's about to get paid. But the Niners have still a decent – they have a young wide receiver. They have a young corner. They have Bosa. The Bears have a good wide receiver in DJ Moore, young wide receiver in Roman Dunze. The Niners have the better –
Keenan Allen already said that he'll either be in Chicago next year or he's going back to the Chargers.
I think he's going back to the Chargers.
I don't. I think he'll buy.
Harbaugh brings in people, dude. God,
he does. Here I go. But listen, hold on. Think about this. You're right on that aspect, but they have youth already at the wide receiver position. All right, the Chargers. I don't think there's a place really for Keenan Allen in San Diego that's going to pay him what the Bears will pay him to be there for another year or two. But anyway, the reason why I'm saying this before was if you're Ben Johnson, you have Caleb Williams, who has shown flashes the last 2 weeks that have been what we've wanted to see as a Bears fan. He's
shown it all year at times.
Yeah, but fair. I mean, you have that. You have a very good running back. You have a great power back. You have two very
Swift
good tight
Swift
ends.
is an okay running back.
He's a good dude. You wouldn't take him on San Francisco right now?
They have Jordan Mason, who's.
That's not what I asked you. No, yeah, but his hand. He can't. Like we discussed with CMC. All right, CMC catches the ball out of the backfield. The one knock on Mason right now is he's not getting that. Swift has that, but there's a reason. Shanahan's not afraid to throw the ball. You know what I mean?
I just think, Swift is good. I just don't think he's. Yeah. They got him at a cost-friendly contract. I just don't think he's worth what he's paid. Because
but anyway, hold on. We're going back to this Ben Johnson thing. Your defense literally is one lineman away now from being a very good defense. Fair? Say you got Montez Sweat locked into a contract.
I mean, Montez Sweat is.
You have two linebackers that are probably top 10 linebackers in the league, if not better.
Top 15.
You have no. Who's better than either one of them in the
I'm just
top
saying. I'm not
out of
thinking
the top 10?
Warner, Roquan,
There's
Patrick Queen are better.
that's 3.
Matt Milano, the Bills running linebacker who
Yeah, oh,
just
come
got
on.
activated.
Now you're stretching. You're stretching. No
You
way.
realize the Bills didn't
No way.
pay Tremaine Edmonds
I
because
don't
they had
care.
Matt Milano, right?
You realize their run
Oh,
defense is trash. The
off this
Bills'
year
run
alone.
defense is trash. Look at it. Look at their stats.
Yeah,
But
it's not all
so
linebackers, bud. They don't have an interior defensive line.
you have the best lockdown corner in the league right now. The best. And before I was like, oh, top 5. After watching what he did to Justin Jefferson, he's the best in the league, period.
He's not.
He shut who's the best who's the best wide receiver in the league right now?
Justin Jefferson, for sure.
What happened? What happened when
I would say Johnson's 2 or 3.
What happened when you put Jalen Johnson on him?
I didn't watch the game because I don't care.
He shut him down. He shut him down, dude. He did. Listen, you got to give the man his props. I don't think
he's a top 5 corner. I'm not saying that.
He's the best in the league right now.
No, he's not.
And I'm not saying that as a homer.
Yes, you are.
No.
Pat Surtain is a higher graded corner this year.
No.
And you know who a dude I wish the Bears would have took but fell.
Cooper DeJean. No, Cooper DeJean made a good tackle. Let's not get crazy.
Cooper DeJean is actually the highest graded.
He's a rookie first and foremost.
Highest graded corner in the NFL.
Is he? Show me. Send it to me. Because PFF is not telling me that. So, but anyway, get back to the final. What I was trying to get to is the Niners.
He's probably picking Chicago at the end of the day.
That's what I'm trying to get to. Is that is the game over? Oh, it is over.
But you also got to realize John Lynch does he want to go to a dysfunctional organization?
No, I agree there. I agree.
That's why because John Lynch obviously knows how to draft players. Like San Fran's talent is ridiculous.
Ryan Poles has done a good job.
Oh, but San Fran, and I think those will be 2 interesting jobs. If Shanahan gets fired, San Francisco will get a lot of.
No, they will. They will. It's a great organization. You know what I mean? It's. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think that I used to say the best quarterback of all time. I will not say that anymore. I think Mahomes has eclipsed that through ability, athleticism.
You think Mahomes is the best quarterback of all time?
I do now. I do, and it honestly it struggled. I struggled for a long time. No, I think you're right. Brady probably no. I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna deny that. But
there's one dude.
There's somebody that's still playing.
One head-to-head.
There's
Brady
still
is 2-0 against him in the postseason too.
But,
mind you that.
But keep in mind, Mahomes is still playing. Do you think he's quitting anytime soon?
No, but Brady won 3 in his first 10 years as well.
All right.
And then had a fucking 20-year drought before he won 4 more.
All I'm saying?
Mahomes, you can't say that right now. No, you can't.
It's close. It's close. But
it's not.
But to go back to what I'm saying is that I used to say Montana was the best. So it's not like, and to me, they've had the best wide receiver ever to play the game, and Jerry Rice. So I don't knock the 49ers at all. I think they're good at organization. I just think that there's times that they struggle when it comes to talent, and there's a time that they struggle when it comes to making decisions. It started when they drafted Trey Lance.
Oh yeah, they haven't hit on first round picks lately, but their late round drafting or Lynch's late round drafting has been great.
Right.
Hufanga was a 5th round pick, All Pro. Warner, or he wasn't drafted, or he did draft Fred Warner. Warner was a 3rd round pick.
Was he?
Yeah, Warner was a 2nd or 3rd round pick. He was not a day 1 pick. Their rookie right guard, he's having a Cooney from Kansas. He's having a really good year for San Fran. He was a 5th round pick.
So Purdy,
Jair Brown, their starting safety, was a 2nd round pick.
Yeah, Purdy ended up being 11 for 18, 94 yards,
Garbage.
two
Absolute
sacks
trash.
for 8 yards, and 74.8 rating
Terrible.
for the game.
They scored 10 points, Chad.
Oh no, I agree. Let's see, what were the total overall yards for total offense was 239 yards total offense.
Yeah, they underprepared. No, they probably put all the game plan in Christian McCaffrey, and he got injured, and they had to change it up in the middle of the game, and Shanahan couldn't do that. That's what I took.
And to me, the biggest killer was the 3 turnovers.
Oh, yeah, the first, but it's showing that Shanahan. Like, I like Shanahan. It's just showing that he got out coached again.
Yeah,
he did. Sean McDermott's a good coach. He does help when you have Josh Allen as your quarterback. Don't get me wrong. But obviously, Sean McDermott's not a bad coach when he's lost multiple offensive coordinators as a defensive-minded head coach, and they're still winning.
Yeah, no, I agree. The best thing they did, to me, was get rid of just drawing a blank wide receiver.
Diggs.
Thank you. Yeah, Stephon Diggs.
Because it's like I said at the beginning of the season, and Eric told me I was stupid, that Josh Allen was so focused on getting Diggs the ball, he was making crucial mistakes. He's looking and spreading it out now this year.
I don't disagree with part of that statement. But I think it's more than that. I think that Diggs was
a cancer.
Yes, he brought chaos to the offense that didn't need to be brought there. You know, the drama. When I say chaos, I mean like drama.
Yeah, for sure.
Bullshit, the diva, you know.
It was unwanted.
Yeah. And now he's in Houston, so we'll wait to see what happens because Houston's struggling big time now. So, but
he was only on a 1-year deal anyway because it was last year, so he's gone. Yeah, dude. Shanahan, I think if they keep on this trend, he might get the can. Even though I don't think really you can can him after all the success he's had. But
it'd be tough,
dude.
Man. It'd be tough.
They weren't that injured at the beginning. Okay, CMC's a big part, but they had Ike was healthy, Bosa was healthy, Williams was healthy, Jennings was there.
If they let him go in Chicago, arms wide open, we'll start singing Creed, arms wide
with
open.
Arms wide open. But the Bears will bear, Chad, and we all know this. Shanahan or Ben Johnson would be the obvious choices, right?
Yeah.
But no, the Bears will fucking bear and go hire. I screenshotted it. Their top candidates right now are Ben Johnson, the Lions defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate this one. Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, we don't want him.
Mike Vrabel.
I like Mike Vrabel as long as he has a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and but this one, if they hire Mike Vrabel, I just feel like he'll keep Thomas Brown, which would be smart.
That would be smart. Yeah.
And but this one Chad, you know how I already feel about Ryan Poles. I don't like him, but word is he's not going to have a word with the hire, or he's going to have a role, but
he does. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be an
If they hire Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame, I will boycott the season before it starts. That'd be like the Niners firing Shanahan and going, we fired Shanahan. Let's just hire a college coach who has no experience in NFL.
Let's hire Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, that's like the Bears have the roster to win now. If they bring in the right coach, they can soar. The Niners, if they do fire Shanahan, they have the roster to still win. Bring in a good candidate. No,
I agree.
Lincoln Riley.
I like Mike Vrabel would be good for the Bears as long as he has a good OC. And
if he was smart, he would be like, because there's rumors that Lincoln Riley might get the can after this year at USC because they are not doing
struggling.
Well. Yeah. If I was Braves, I'd be like, if he took the Chicago job, I would call Lincoln Riley and be like, hey, you want to come make head coach money and coach your old QB?
No, I wouldn't want him as a head coach. I wouldn't.
No, I'm saying as if
maybe a quarterback coach or
no, if we get Lincoln Riley as the OC, if the Bears hire Lincoln Riley as the OC,
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I'd want him as the OC. Maybe an offensive advisor.
Developed, man.
Maybe an offensive advisor.
Baker, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts.
No, I agree. We've talked about this before. I agree. I just think you bring him on as an advisor because he's not going to stick around very long. You know what I mean? He's going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, he's going to be a head
So,
coach.
yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying. I that's the only reason why I say maybe as an advisor to keep Caleb going the direction he's going, but nothing more. Just because you want somebody that's going to be there for a little bit, just in my opinion.
yeah, I agree with that. Same with the San Fran. If they do decide to can Shanahan, bring in someone who is even if they hire a defensive guy, bring in someone from the
Solid.
Dolphins staff.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that run a gun. You need some speed for that one, man. You guys don't have that.
I don't think the Niners wouldn't fire Shanahan and hire Robert Saleh as their head coach.
No, and I don't think Saleh is a good head coach.
But he's a good D coordinator.
Oh, he's a great D coordinator. Great.
Very good motivator and very good at defensive side.
He's like Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio, great defense coordinator. Do not put him as head coach ever again. I mean, we've seen that in Denver.
Oh, for sure. They were terrible.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah, that wraps it up for me, Chad.
Yeah, sure it does. The final on the game was 35-10. San Francisco drops to 5-7. Obviously not where they wanted to be. In the standings, that leaves them.
Their season's over, I feel like.
Yeah.
I will say that now.
For the West, you got Seattle at 7-5, Arizona at 6-6, the Rams at 6-6, and then San Francisco at 5 and
8 or 5-7.
5-7.
5-7.
Yeah.
But they're going to finish last. They'll probably get 7-8 wins this year, because the rest of their schedule's tough.
Yeah. You guys still got one more win than the Bears though, so it's all right. So.
Yeah, but the Bears, dude, I don't want to jinx anything, but I think the Niners are going to lose to the Bears next week, and I'm saying that as a Niners fan.
Yeah.
I think the Bears are going to win, and I'm going to swallow my pride and say that because the Niners have been playing bad football, and the Bears have been playing good football.
Yeah, I say they haven't,
who knows?
They've been miscoached. Miscoached. But, all right. Any other interesting shit?
Nope.
It's all let out?
No, just I think the Niners season's kapooey.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. I'm going to end this actually.
Go blue, though, people. Go fucking blue.
I'm going to end this on something that will be personal for you and I both. This past week, the Illinois State Football Championship was held. Here in the state of Illinois, we do not have two separate divisions for private and for public. We do have 7 classes. There is no multiplier that was separating, preventing recruiting or anything like that. So we ended up with, out of the 8 classes that played, 7 of them being private Catholic schools. I hope the state of Illinois makes some changes, some decisions, add the multiplier back, and look at enrollment and keep it fair for the public schools. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but that's my rant.
Wrestling's here, boys.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So wrestling is definitely here. But we're saying that, everybody, thanks for listening. Listening to Justin get his frustrations out. We appreciate you. Help us grow. Put any comments that you may have. Follow us on Instagram or TikTok. And Eric, thank you for joining us tonight.
Eric, you turd. Chad, he probably cut his privates on Liquid Death Can again.
This is true. We called that circumcision by can. So,
circumcision by can. He's
so,
not the brightest fellow in our group.
Oh, shit, right?
He may be dumber than Jake.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. We're saying that. You guys have a good night. And even though we talked about the 49ers, bear down.